Well, welcome to this tutorial, trying something a little bit different this week with a different format. But for those of you that are familiar with Khan Academy, kind of giving an experimental trial with a Khan Academy format. Okay, so what we're going to discuss here, of course, right now you're seeing a blank slate that we're going to be writing on in just a moment. But what I would like to go through is an incentive plan. Now, incentive plans are, very important. So you have incentive plans. Or incentives, how people get paid. What, as a manager, why is it important that you care about these things? Well, incentive plans, just again, think about your own pay and maybe different ways that you've been paid for different jobs. And incentive plans reward certain behaviors. Management wants to guide their employees for certain behaviors. Some of that could be to avoid the difficulties with asymmetric information, and others could be to look at, how are we going to reward top producers? We have a certain goal in mind and we need that. So I'm going to take two kind of extreme examples, probably kind of the two opposite ends. A fee for service, and then on the other end you have salary. Now I'm sure many of you have had salary experience where you're paid a given salary, which really isn't dependent on the production that you do. Fee for service, obviously, is you're paid fee for a service. And there's other terms in economics that you might hear. You might hear the word piecework in there. You might hear even somewhat a similar concept would be commission. And then again, that basically rewards people for producing a certain quantity of something, and top producers are paid more, and people that don't toe the line are paid less. Well, that sounds great, right? Why doesn't everybody fee for service? Organizations can always achieve top producers. Well, sometimes with asymmetric information, you could have folks who may be unethical in their approach to strictly achieve numbers. So you want to look at different types of methods of compensation and really what you want to mold for your employees. So let's look at an example here. And again, we're going to give this a shot here with this new format. But we're going to have 3 employees, and we're going to compare how these 3 employees operate in 3 different environments. Okay, so I'm going to move this up here a little bit. Okay. So we're going to have Avery, A-V-E-R-Y, and then we'll use red for Bailey. Okay, these are your employees. And then we'll use, last one will be Cameron. So Cameron here, C-A-M-E-R-I-O-N. Okay, so you have these 3 employees, Avery, Cameron, and Balin. Avery, Bailey, and Cameron. Okay, so here's how we're going to pay Avery. Let's say Avery is paid $20 for each session that they do. Maybe it's massage therapy. Maybe you own a therapy facility and you pay Bailey $20 per session or whatever. Again, it could be anything. But Avery is getting paid as kind of a fee-for-service straight compensation plan. The more you do, the more you get paid. Bailey, on the other hand, Bailey is in red. Bailey, you're going to pay a flat salary of $400. Let's just say it's $400 a week. But you're going to mix it up a little bit. You're going to give a little sweetener to Bailey. And Bailey, if you get over 20 sessions a week, then we will pay you, I'll just put that, we'll pay you $20 a session there. Sorry, a little dollar sign. Okay, so Bailey's a little bit different, kind of a combination, but you got to reach that threshold of 20. Cameron, even a little bit more different. Cameron, we're going to do, at least it looks different, we're going to do the $400 kind of salary issue. We're going to do for cases or sessions over 30, we will now pay you $20. Okay, so a little bit higher threshold. Sorry, that's a 2 or for a 20. But we have a problem in the office, and that's paperwork. And we need our paperwork done quickly, so we're going to put a paperwork incentive on there. And that paperwork incentive is $200 if you get your paperwork completed and filled by, say 48 hours or something like that. So get your paperwork done quickly, which in healthcare is very important because the quicker you get your paperwork done, the quicker you can get paid. All right, so we've got these 3 individuals. Now, let me move these up, these 3 different plans, and now let's compare them in 3 different environments. Move that up here a little bit. We can bring this back down. Actually, let me try shrink it down, and we'll move it up here. Okay. All right, so let's look at this environment under 3 different scenarios and see how these compensation packages work. Let's say we have 20 sessions. Let's see what happens there. We have 30 sessions, and then we'll do, we'll do 40 sessions. Okay, and then we're going to have Avery. I'll just spare you my terrible handwriting. Bailey. And Cameron. ABC. Not by accident. Okay, so let's make a grid to help us figure out how each one of these compensation packages look under different environments. All right, Avery. Pretty simple. 20 cases, 20 sessions, 20 therapy sessions, again, what have you, times $20 a session. How much are you going to make for the week? You're going to make $400. Just simply do the math. Oh, sorry guys, that should be in green. Can try to keep consistent here. Okay, so $400. Again, let's do 30 cases. All right, 30 sessions. Again, do the math. 30 sessions times $20 a session, $600. And I think you see the pattern here. 40 sessions times 20. You have now made $800. Great for you, Avery. You're just our superstar. Okay, so Bailey. Let's go to Bailey. Bailey's red. Now Bailey makes that. Remember look up there in that our little her compensation package is. You make $400 no matter what. After 20, then you get paid an additional $20 per session. So with 20, you're not making anything extra. So she makes the $400. Okay. What happens at 30? Well, let's see here. Okay, so we know that Bailey is always going to make the 400. Right? So we got the 400. But now she's exceeded the 20 case limit. So she's exceeded it by 10. Pretty simple math. How much she's going to get little extra in her paycheck? She's going to get an extra $200 in her paycheck. And I think you can see the math there pretty easy. She will make $600 for a week in which she does 30 sessions. Same as Avery. Interesting. Let's look at the 40 cases or sessions. So we've got again, she makes her flat 400 every week, no matter whether you see one person or 1,000. But again, now she has 20 cases over, 20 sessions over the 20, so she gets a little bonus. And again, the threshold was 20, so 40 minus 20 is 20. Sessions to be compensated for at $20 per session. And you see where we're going there. We're getting 400. And she makes $800. All right. So, identical to Avery. All right, let's look at Cameron. Cameron was a little bit more complicated in that they were getting compensated the 400 for just showing up to work. I gotta watch my colors here. 400 just for showing up to work. Then there is a paperwork bonus. So great, got a paperwork bonus here. 200. We're assuming they did the paperwork on time within 48 hours. And then they also get paid additional $20 per session over 20. Didn't meet the threshold here. So we add it up, and they make $600 in that case. All right, let's look at 30 sessions. Again, you're going to get the 400. You're going to get the 200. Now, did we exceed more than 30? No, we didn't. So they stay the same. Oops. So they stay at 600. Okay, no changes there. Let's look at what happens with 40 sessions. Okay, so we still got our 400 plus our 200 paperwork bonus, but now we've exceeded the 30, so we get a little extra money there. We've exceeded the minimum 30 sessions, so by 10, and we at times $20 a session, so they get a little additional kick of 200. Add it up, $800. Okay. Now you can see by looking at this grid, what does it tell us? What are the differences? So let's try to answer some basic questions by using this grid. And I think right now I'm going to highlight, we see the one difference. Everybody's the same in all the columns at the levels, except at one level where Cameron handily beats Avery and Bailey in a week. So in this week right here, they're making $600. Everything else is a match, for the same. So the behaviors, I guess, if you think about it, there is no reward for a difference in behaviors that we can see off of this chart, other than in this one particular week where, because Cameron is getting this early paperwork bonus, they jump more quickly. He or she jumps more quickly in income with a behavior that you want to reward. Okay, so let's ask some questions about this. All right, now, is Avery likely to produce the most sessions? I mean, your gut instinct would be, yeah, they're fee for service. They're just going to try to do as much as possible. Well, no, that's not true. When you look at the compensation, definitely for Avery and Bailey, it is the same all the way through. And if you run the numbers even bigger, it still stays the same. So that is not true. Avery is not likely to produce the most sessions. Now the other question is Bailey likely to produce the fewest sessions? Not necessarily, because again, the compensation level is the same between Avery and Bailey at different production levels. There's no disincentive for Bailey to, I guess, mail it in. There is an incentive for Bailey to reach a certain number and then keep going, but that also keeps the same pace with Avery. So I can't say for sure that Bailey is likely to produce the fewest sessions. It looks like she would still be striving. We are trying, with her compensations, she is still striving to do that. Now, let me just take a moment. Again, this question is Bailey likely to produce the fewest sessions? If I was paying Bailey a $400 flat salary, independent of number of sessions, and this was 400 all the way down here, well, yes, that would be the case. But here, this is not true. Let's ask another question. Is Cameron likely to produce the fewest sessions? No, not necessarily. Actually, Cameron has the same incentive structure as far as pay goes, especially once you reach the 30 and 40 level. Again, they're all the same. So I can't make any strong conclusions that Cameron is likely to produce the fewest sessions. So what can I actually determine from this? Let's look at another question. Is Cameron the most likely to file paperwork promptly? Well, is there any incentive for Avery to do paperwork? No. There's no reason. Avery's just going to keep doing more sessions. Bailey, no incentive for Bailey to do paperwork bonus. Just keep going, get to the 20, and then keep going and getting compensated, at 20 per session, and then get your salary of 400. Cameron, on the other hand, does receive a very nice bonus for early paperwork, carried on all the way through whatever level of pay that they have. So yes, that would be true. Cameron is most likely to file paperwork promptly. It's really the only thing that we could tell from this compensation kind of package and how we've structured the incentives that they're being paid. So again, you have to be very careful as a manager when you're looking at how you're structuring financial incentives for your employees. And I would just take a sidebar here for yourself too. Look at, how do you want to be compensated? Now, I have worked in all three of these types of scenarios, where I've been paid piecework or fee-for-service. I've been paid a combination of a base salary plus fee-for-service. Now in my current role, it's strictly salary. So each has its own advantages, and each kind of rewards behaviors in a big picture. All individuals, on an individual basis, people are different. You're going to have folks who will, be workaholics for a salary, where even though additional work, because the ingrained work ethic is there, that additional work that they do, even though they know they're not receiving extra compensation, they do. You're always going to have those individuals. But when you look at a group of, hundreds of people, and you look at kind of normal human behaviors, how people are compensated in different ways, kind of these patterns will emerge time and time again. So, again, keep that in mind. There's always going to be outliers to any kind of production or incentive structures that you design. And also be aware of how you want to be paid. You might be in an environment where you advocate that, yes, I want to be a fee-for-service individual because I know I'm fast at producing whatever it is that you do, and you want to be compensated for that. Or again, maybe some blending of the two or having a more of a salary approach. So take this into your personal life as well. In addition to those that you may manage, it is very important on how people are compensated and the incentives that you structure in order to produce the results that you want to happen within your organization. Great. Well, thank you for watching our walkthrough on this, and thank you for tolerating my scribble writing here, trying a new format. So again, kind of a little experiment here. Hope you found this very helpful, and as always, thank you for watching.